Chapter 2. Michael. James walked in the front, but he only looked at the counter and went back to the room. After he slams the door, Jacob turns to me. What are we going to do about him? He can't go on like this forever, man. I know, but I don't know what to do, I say, and pick up my phone. I call Brittany, but the first thing I hear when she answers is Roxanne yelling, "Did he eat?" I laugh, then answer, "No, he hasn't. But he came out of the room and just looked at the counter, then went back to the room." I hear Roxanne say something, but I can't understand her. "Huh?" I ask.
"Hold on,"
Brittany says, then adds,
"Okay, you are on speaker now."
"I said he wants coffee."
Roxanne repeats. "Okay, he could have just asked," I tell her.
"Right?"
Brittany says with a laugh, "Let me call you back." I hang up to make coffee. When it's done, I take it to the room and set it on the side table. All he does is turn his back to me. Really? So I walk out and call Brittany back. "No, that wasn't what he wanted. He turned his back to the cup," I tell her, and hear Roxanne in the back.
"Okay, you could have just called Roxanne if she was the one you wanted to talk to,"
Brittany says in a joking tone. So I hang up and laugh with Jacob. Not even 30 seconds goes by before he gets a call that he puts on speaker.
"That asshole,"
she says, and we all laugh. I hear the door open and Brittany starts to laugh. James puts the cup in the sink and rinses it. After the door closes, we all look at the phone since Brittany is still laughing. When she can breathe, she says,
"That was funny."
"What?" Jacob asks his wife.
"So Roxanne texted James and told him to drink the coffee, and he did."
So we all laugh. "Tell him to eat," I say, hoping that will work for the food too.
"Sorry, man. She has tried that. He won't, though."
"Brittany, what if you and Roxanne came out here with us to help with James?" I ask her, and pray she says yes.
"I guess that is a yes. Roxanne just ran to her room to get a bag."
With a baby voice, she adds,
"She misses him."
making us laugh. That may be his problem and why he won't eat. Quinn says, "Fuck, I hope so," I tell him. When the girls get here, Roxanne storms to the room, making all of us laugh. "Yup, he is in trouble," Chris jokes. James. I have been sleeping so much, I keep losing track of time. If it weren't for my phone, I wouldn't even know what day it was. Laying here, lost in thought, the door swings open, and I think I'm dreaming. Roxanne is standing at the door with her hands on her hips. She looks pissed, but damn, it just makes her look hotter.
"You big baby, why are you not eating?"
She yells at me, as she looks at the floor to where my dad keeps leaving food. I don't say anything, I just look at her, more than likely with a dumb look on my face. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm awake or dreaming. She grabs my hand and tries to pull me, but I don't move, so she yells out,
"Now, you prick!"
So I stand. When we get to the front, she leads me to the table and pushes me to sit. Storming to the kitchen, she starts to bitch.
"I have to fly 5 hours on a plane just to make you eat, you big fucking baby."
I don't want to listen to this or be around anyone, so I stand and walk to the back. Roxanne stands in the doorway to try to stop me.
"No,"
she says. So I put my hands on her hips, picking her up and putting her down behind me. "Yes," I whisper, making her give a soft laugh.
"James Allen,"
she yells. "Roxanne Faith," I return, while I close the door. 20 minutes later, she walks in the room with food. Sitting on the bed, she hands me a sandwich. I shake my head.
"Eat,"
she says, and I shake my head again. She puts the food back on the plate, crosses her arms over her chest. About that time, her stomach growls. When was the last time she ate? I grab the sandwich and hand it to her.
"Not till you eat,"
she says, as her stomach growls again. "Eat the damn thing, Roxy!" I yell out. getting more annoyed every time her stomach growls.
No, will eat when you eat.
She yells back. I'm so fucking pissed, but I know she really won't eat unless I eat. So I make a pouty face and push the sandwich to her lip, making her laugh.
You prick!
She yells, giving me my chance. I put the food in her mouth.
You eat or I go home,
she tells me and hands me the plate. I take it this time because I don't want her to go. When we are done eating, she stands with a smile and says,
Good boy.
I'm not a dog, I tell her.
You're right. A dog listens,
she says, then sticks out her tongue as she shuts the door. I can't hide the smile I have on my face. So I lay here, just thinking.
Roxanne. After I close the door, I feel enormously proud of myself for getting him to eat. At the front, everyone looks at me. Problem solved, I tell them, as I wash the plate.
Please stay.
I hear Michael beg my mother. I really hope she will say yes, since no one else here can take care of James. He may not talk to my mom, but he does listen to her and respects her. If she cooks, he will eat just because she cooked it.
Roxanne, what do you think?
Mom asked me, and I am totally honest. Well, I know he needs to be close to his dad after losing his mom. At the same time, if we leave, he will go back to not eating and hiding in that room.
He is still in that room.
Michael interrupts me. I spin on my heels, walk to the back, open the door. Front, sir!
No, ma'am.
Fine, I will play your guitar.
No, you won't fucking touch it.
Stop me, I tease as I run to the front. Just as I get to the case, I feel his hands around my waist, picking me up.
No, you won't.
That is my ear, I yell back as he sets me down. Picking up his guitar, he starts to head to the back. James, play for me, please, I say, making him stop dead in his tracks. As he turns to face me, I lower my head and look up at him with a puppy face.
Fuck!
He yells out as I sit on the counter. Putting his case down, he starts to open it. With his back to me, I look at the adults and smile. I have to fight the laugh at the sight of all their jaws on the floor. When his guitar is out of the case, he sits on the floor, then looks where all the adults are sitting. He starts to stand, but I jump off the counter and crawl to him. He is frozen in place. I want to laugh. I move his guitar and sit in his lap, pulling the guitar to my lap. This isn't the first time I have sat in his lap. I used to sit like this all the time when he was teaching me to play the guitar. I feel a lump in my throat at the thought that he may never teach me again after his mom. As he starts to play, I lean back into him. I turn my head and whisper in his ear, "Beautiful light?" I see the corner of his lips turn up. I hate that he tries to hide his smile now. Changing the tune, he starts to play Beautiful Light. I want him to sing, so I whisper, "Please?" He leans down to my ear.
Please what?
Sing, I say, hoping he will, and I am over the moon when he does. After playing and singing a few songs, I fall asleep in his arms.
James. Sitting here with Roxy in my arms, I forget about everyone else on the bus. I forget about all my problems. When I look down, she is fast asleep. So I kiss her forehead and lay my guitar on the floor next to me. I can take her, Jacob says, and leans down, but I wrap my arms around her and hold tight.
I will pay to see you try,
Brittany says with a laugh. Jacob just looks at her. I try to stand, still holding Roxanne. It's hard as hell to stand with her in my arms, but no way am I putting her down. Brittany walks over, picking up my guitar. After she moves it to the side, she stands behind me and helps me up. I don't say anything, I just nod, then walk to the room, closing the door as quietly as I can so I don't wake her. I turn around to find my dad grabbing stuff off the bunk. Seeing me standing here, he whispers, "You can sleep here." So after the bags are moved, I lay down, pulling the curtain closed.
Brittany, the band sounds so nice tonight. It has been weeks since I last got to hear my husband play. When I look down to ask Roxanne if she is enjoying being backstage, I notice she is not beside me. A small panic sets in as I go to find her. She is not in the halls or the dressing room. Where could that girl have gone? As I'm leaving the dressing room for the second time, I see Patrick, the band manager, so I stop to ask, "Hey, Patrick, how are you? Have you seen Roxanne? She is like a ghost, there one minute, gone the next." With a small laugh, Patrick looks up from his phone.
No, I haven't seen either of the kids tonight. Sorry. How is Roxanne liking being on the road? How is James doing?
With a sad expression on my face, I feel so bad for James and Michael both. James was a mama's boy all the way, so I can understand his hurt and anger. I just wish I knew how to help him. Roxanne loves it. That girl loves music just as much as her dad. James, on the other hand, is just mad at the world.
Yeah, I can understand that. That poor kid. If it were under different circumstances, I think he would be in heaven with the band.
I know James would. He is all about music. He is great with the guitar, and about the only time that kid does anything but yell nowadays is when he plays. As I look at Patrick, all I can say is, "You're right. Well, I better get back to finding Roxanne. Maybe I'll go to the bus. James never leaves that bus, so if she went there, he would have seen her, I hope."
Best of luck. If she is not on the bus, just call, and we will get you some help to find her.
With a smile, "Thanks. I will let you know if she is on the bus or if I need a search party." With a small laugh, we part ways. I pray she is on the bus. As I get closer to the bus, I hear yelling, and all I can do is be annoyed they are fighting again, but glad I found Roxanne. Before I open the door to the bus, I try to hear what it is this time that they are fighting about. I miss the days when those two were best of friends. As I listen in, I hear James yell,
"Why do you have to be a bitch?"
Okay, so what did I miss here? I think as I hear Roxanne,
You are the one that is a prick, you know.
Just go away and leave me alone. I didn't ask for you or your mother to be here.
No, you didn't ask. Your father did.
Roxanne yells. As I step on the bus, James yells,
I didn't ask for any of this.
My heart hurts for this kid so bad, trying not to be too rude, but also to stop the fighting. I say, "Okay, why don't you two just break it up and go cool down or something?" James stands from the couch he was laying on and storms off to the room, saying something under his breath. I couldn't understand him, but I know it was something hateful. Roxanne turns to look at me and says,
Why do you always let him get away with being a jerk?
I don't, but also there is not much I can do either. Why do you always have to pick fights with him? With an incredibly angry look on her face, Roxanne says,
I didn't pick a fight. All I did was walk on the bus.
I know that is probably all she really did do. It doesn't take much to set James off. Okay, well, why did you not tell me you were coming out here? I was looking everywhere for you.
Mom, really? James stays on this bus by himself all the time, but I get in trouble for walking out here?
I don't get to say anything more because Roxanne has already stormed off to the bunks.
James, I walked away because I didn't care to even talk to either of them, and I slammed the bedroom door. I'm grateful this bus has one room to get away from everyone else. I lay on the bed, and I want to cry. I miss my mom so much. Why did she have to get cancer? As I lay here thinking, I let the tears fall. Lisa was the greatest. I couldn't have asked for a better mom. Every day, she would wake me up with a kiss on the head and the biggest smile. Mom didn't work, and I was homeschooled, so we spent every minute of the day together. Some days, we would go pick up Roxanne and Brittany to go to the mall or to the park or do something fun. I have known the Richardson family forever. They have been friends with my parents since they were 13, so my age. Me and Roxanne used to be awfully close. She is the most beautiful girl I have ever seen, although she doesn't think so. She has a great smile and the most amazing laugh. I could always talk to her about anything since it was always so easy to talk to her. Although nowadays, all we do is fight. And yes, I know that is all on me. I'm so jealous that she still gets to have her mom when I lost mine. I know that is not her fault, but still, I don't want to talk to anyone or even be around anyone. Every time anyone looks at me with that sad look in their eyes, I get so mad. I don't want people's pity. Everyone walks on eggshells around me, and that just adds to the anger in me. With Roxanne, though, she just sees me, and as bad as it is that we fight, hell, at least she doesn't pity me. I know she was only coming to check on me tonight. I haven't left this bus in weeks, but when she walked on the bus, I was crying, and I'll be damned if anyone sees me cry. I feel so lost right now, so confused. Usually I would play my guitar and that would help, but not even that helps with the pain. After I don't even know how long, I must have passed out because when I open my eyes, I'm now covered up and the bus is moving. It wasn't my night to sleep in here, but I guess they just left me alone. My head is killing me. I hate crying so much. Why do I have to be so weak? I wish I could be as strong as my dad. I know he is hurting too, but he seems to be holding it together better than me. As I go to get up, I see a bottle of water and aspirin on the table and some food. I'm not hungry, but I can't take the aspirin if I don't eat. Guess this was either Brittany or my dad's doing, but it's not like I plan to say thank you or anything, so I don't care. After I take the aspirin and eat, I go back to sleep. I don't want to hear anything they have to say right now.
Roxanne, laying on this bed, all I can do is think. My mom had a point. I really should have told her where I was going. Walking around backstage alone at 13 may not have been the best idea I had. I wanted to check on James, and if I told my mom I was going to the bus, she would have told me to just leave him be. I don't understand why James hates me so much. We used to be best friends, but to the fact that he doesn't talk to anyone else unless he is yelling at me, it sucks, but at least he talks/yells at me. That is more than anyone else gets, even his dad. I know Michael is doing his best right now, but he is also hurting too. When I got to the bus, I was trying to think of an excuse to why I was coming, because there is no way I'm telling James I'm worried about him. As I stepped on the bus, I knew it was a bad idea. James was crying, and he tries so hard to act tough. There was no way he was going to tell me why he was crying, but I can guess it is about his mom. The second he seen me, his face went from sad to pissed. I knew he was about to yell, but hey, it's better than him crying. James looked at me with so much hate, it hurts. As he yelled,
"What the hell are you doing here?"
And that started the fight. Why the hell does it matter? This is my dad's bus too. I don't have to ask you to get on the bus. James looked at me with a mix of anger and confusion. I know he is mad at the world, but he also knows I'm telling the truth on this. For a second, it looked like he didn't want to fight, but then he yelled,
"Why do you have to be a bitch?"
Why does he always have to call me that? I'm so mad, I yelled, "You are the one that is a prick, you know!" I know he isn't a prick. Okay, he can be one, but still, I hate calling him that. It is so hard to be mad when he is looking at me with those sky blue eyes that are laced with red from crying. After a minute of just looking at me, he yelled,
"Just go away and leave me alone. I didn't ask for any of this."
And my heart breaks. I know he didn't ask for this. James was a huge mama's boy, and losing her has to be hard. I can't even begin to think of what he must be feeling. I would die if anything happened to my parents. Just as I was about to say sorry to him, my mom walked on the bus. Great. She takes so much pity on him, and it pisses him off even more.
Okay, why don't you two just break it up and go cool down or something?
I looked at James, and if I thought he was mad before, he was so much worse now. As he stormed off to the bedroom, I'm guessing, I heard him say,
"Why don't you go away or something?"
I was trying not to laugh at that. As I turned to look at my mom, all I could think was, why do you always let him get away with being a jerk? When my mom said,
I don't, but also there's not much I can do either. Why do you always pick fights with him?
I noticed I said that out loud. Wait, what? I didn't pick a fight. All I did was walk on the bus. And that wasn't a lie this time. I didn't pick a fight. Sometimes I do, because it's the only way to get him to talk, it seems. Or to not look so sad. Mom just looked at me, and I guess knows that I wasn't lying, because she says,
Okay, well, why did you not tell me you were coming out here? I was looking everywhere for you.
I feel bad for making her worry, but at the same time, if I would have told her, she would have stopped me, and I wanted to check on him. I was trying to think of something to say other than the truth, but also not wanting to lie. So I said, Mom, really? James stays on this bus by himself all the time, but I get in trouble for walking out here? Okay, that wasn't a lie. We are the same age, so why is it okay for him, but not me? Yes, he is like 2 weeks older, and he never lets me forget, but we're the same age. But before she could answer, I turned and walked away because I knew her answer.
He just lost his mom.
I hate that seems to be everyone's answer, to just let him do whatever. After a few hours of laying here, everyone has gone to sleep. I guess they just let James stay in the room, although it was Quinn's turn. As quiet as I can, I walk to the room and open the door, and lose my breath. How is it legal to look that damn hot? He is laying on his stomach, with his arms crossed in front of him, laying his head on them. As I walk to the side of the bed to where I can see his face, I see he is asleep. Since he looks like he was crying again, I bet he will wake up with a headache. There is no telling how long he cried before I walked on the bus, or how long he cried before he passed out. I walk out of the room to the bathroom to get aspirin, and on my way back to the room, I grab a bottle of water and something to eat. As I set everything on the table, I notice he still has his shoes on. So I take them off, glad I didn't wake him. I know I shouldn't, but I pull out my phone and take a picture of him and then just watch him sleep. If he knew I was even in here, he would be so mad. Just as I'm about to walk out of the room, I see him shiver, but since he's laying on the blanket, I walk out to the bunk and grab a blanket off the bed. This is his blanket after all. After I cover him up, I close the door and lay in bed to try to fall asleep myself.